This is week 15 of the 52 weeks of picks. This week's theme, spots. Okay, this week's theme, spots. So I'm going to be shooting some eggs in the tradition of Easter. It's actually Easter Sunday right now in the evening. Got a couple of little robin eggs here, and they got a bunch of spots all over them, so I'm going to shoot that. Got them set up in a little Easter basket just to have a little context to what we're shooting here. So I'm not going to be shooting the entire basket. I'm just going to be focusing in on the eggs that are in here. I'm not going to show them in frame, but we'll see how this works. All right, the settings on my camera are 1/160th of a second at f8, and it's still ISO 100. We're shooting once again with the Yongnuo flash trigger and the Yongnuo flash, and you see I have the umbrella here as an extended. It's kind of like the poor man's softbox. I'm going to try and keep the light going straight across here so it can kind of create some shadows to show some shape on the eggs. And I'm going to shoot more or less over the top here, so I'm going to give it a shot here and see how this works. And the settings on the flash seems to be a little too dark. I may bump this up. It was at 1/16th power, and I'm going to put this up to 1/8 power now. And we'll give this a shot. And get my focus. There we go. I don't like that, but I don't like the framing. I'm going to come over the top of it a little bit more. There we go. And kind of like the first shot a little bit. Let's see how that one looks. Let me try a different angle. Come from over here. I'm going to try and get all those in, all the yellow ones in there. I'm not sure I like that image either. You'll notice I have odd number of things in there for whatever reason. It seems to be more appealing to the eye, so I have an odd number of eggs in there. And I also have 3 eggs formed into a triangle, just to kind of give some shape. I'm going to get a little closer on this one. Yeah, I like that one. And try a little bit of different angle. I'm trying to fill the entire frame here. There we go. That one's pretty cool. And not every egg has to be in the image. I should say the whole egg has to be in the image. Because your mind kind of puts that all together. There we go, that's a pretty neat one too. And we could always rotate that in Photoshop, but alright, I kind of like that. And I guess we'll bring this one into Photoshop as well. And big surprise, right? We'll bring this one into Photoshop and we'll work on it from there. Maybe bring out the colors a little bit. Not too much. We want to keep the pastel color theme going for the whole Easter theme going on here, but enough babbling. Let's get into Photoshop. All right, now we're in Adobe Bridge, and here are the images that we've taken. I denoted this as a 5-star. This is the one I decided I was going to use, so I'm going to click on it. And you can see we got this triangular shape here in the image, and then as I think I mentioned earlier in the video, there's an odd number here, whatever the reason being. It seems that the human eye is more attracted to things that are in the odd amount in the numbers. Also, colors and everything have effect in composition, but I really didn't use any sort of thought process in the colors here. I just wanted to make sure that I had an odd number. And I also formed the shape here of a triangle using the yellow eggs. Let's just double click this and open it up into Camera Raw. And there's really not much to do here. The image is pretty decent to begin with. It's not the strongest of images, but I think it was pretty decent to begin with. So let's start off by giving this some more contrast here. And you know what? I never removed any of the things here, so let's cancel out of that and go back into Adobe Bridge so you can actually see the editing process here. I'm gonna remove the develop settings off of here. Oops. And clear the settings. And now you can see it's the default picture. Still, there's not going to be that much to do here. I have to stop saying okay. I'm going to increase our contrast here. And it's not going to be much. If you saw in the previous one, it was plus 13. I always go through the video beforehand. I don't want you to sit here and watch me make millions of mistakes and go over everything. Just kind of give you the idea of how I do it. Sometimes it takes longer, sometimes it's faster. It all depends, what it is I'm trying to show. So let's continue on. I'm babbling again. I'm going to increase the shadows here. I'm not going to go as aggressive as I did before because in Photoshop I had to actually add contrast to it. So I'm not going to go as aggressive. Maybe 51 on there. So this way I don't have to worry about adding too many shadows back in to show form and whatnot. I thought the image looked a little too flat. Let's increase the vibrance and bring out some of these colors. If you go too much, you can see everything becomes a bit radioactive. So I'm just going to tune that down a bit. Maybe right around 46 or so. 45, that looks pretty good. And I'm going to open the object up into Photoshop. One thing that bothered me in here was this big green space over on the side. I didn't come in enough, so I'm going to actually have to crop the image. And I'm going to go to the crop tool. And I'm just actually going to draw a bounding box here. And try and get a estimated size as to what I want. Maybe move this up a little here. I want some of this egg down on the bottom. Move it up. I'm holding down the space bar, by the way, to move that around. And looks pretty cool. Maybe make this a little bit wider here. Move that around a bit. I want some of that egg down on the bottom there so I can continue having my triangle. I think that's cool. I'm going to hit enter right there. And let's create a new curves adjustment layer. And I'm going to do that because I want to bring some of the contrast back in. And I'm just going to move this white in right to around the peak here, which makes it a bit brighter. And then right around here, I'm going to click and just bring some of those darks back down. I won't go too much. Just bring it down just a little bit. I'll show you what that looked like. It just added a little bit more punch to the image. It was a little flat. And it wasn't just removing the blacks from this area in here. It actually gave some life into these reds and stuff. I'll show you one more time. You could see it actually gives a little more life to the reds. And the last thing I'm going to do here is create a new layer. Just a new blank layer. And go to my brush tool. And I have a soft brush. It's a large soft brush, and that's it. And I'm just going to paint in a little vignette just to bring our focus to this center egg, which is the one that's really in focus. It's also one of the brightest things in the image as well, which will attract your eye to it. And I might have gone a little too dark, so I'm just going to lower the opacity a bit here. Maybe a little bit more. We have a 50%. There. Alright, I think that's it. This is a really quick edit. But I'm going to go to full screen. And there you go. This is week 15, and the theme was spots. Alright, guys. I'll see you next week. Bye.